26F, am engaged to an abusive man, 32M, and I have no idea how to leave. Can anyone help me? First of all, I'm a writer, and a relatively known one at that. Therefore, this is an anonymous account. I say that not to be a braggart but because once enough money started coming in that we were living beyond comfortably, he decided to quit his horrible job. At first, I didn't have a problem with that. I could pay the bills, I made enough. We are going to circle back to that at the end. First, I want to talk about the relationship. It progressed extremely quickly, and before we knew it we were spending every day together. I was talking to someone else too and he knew it at the time, but that person was a little too distant so I ended up going with my now fiancé. It wasn't long until I moved in, which I know, you shouldn't move in right away, but I can't undo what I've already done. He is obsessed with how skinny I am and body shames me when he feels my stomach isn't toned enough. Not safe for work warning. He told me the other day I'm not even really a woman and I don't care about his needs because I'm not good at giving blowjobs. Besides this, he used to complain that the house was never clean and he wanted to come home to a clean house. I hired a cleaning lady. He still screams at me that the house isn't good enough. I can't remember the last time I picked what we watched on TV. I think I only got to pick because my mother was over. Whenever I point out I notice he hasn't been touching me much, he completely stonewalls me, says he's tired of my bitching, and will lock himself in a room I can't gain access to. If I try, he shoves me up against the wall. Yesterday it got real bad and I started daydreaming about the life I used to have. He tells me all the time that I'm slur, tells me what to wear, and if I even accidentally interrupt him at a bad time he will scream at me. He doesn't like being asked questions, so I get told not to ask any. He curses me out blatantly at least once a day. He'd say, "Yeah, that's about it. I know you guys are gonna have questions, I have the answers to all of them." But essentially, if I leave, so does all his money, likely his place to live, and everything he's worked for. Too long did not read. Abusive fiancé financially dependent on me. Too afraid to leave but so sick of crying myself to sleep every night and no idea how to go about it. ETA. He is the tenant of the house and technically I am not, so I am in no position to throw him out. You have to forget about what this will mean to him. He chose his path and now he has to live with it. Please, do not marry this man. First of all, disabuse yourself of this. But essentially, if I leave, so does all his money, likely his place to live, and everything he's worked for. He did this to himself. Not you to him. There have to be subreddits here with advice on the steps to take. Sis, he is 32 years old. You moved into his place. He got along and survived before you showed up, he'll manage after you leave. The next time he leaves the house, you pack up everything vital, you get everything in your car, and you drive. If he has any access to your money, freeze any credit cards and put a security freeze on your bank account. Your bank customer service can help you with that. A police station, a fire station, or a hospital will all be able to put you in touch with a social worker to help you navigate resources for DV victims. You absolutely aren't safe where you are. Grab your documents, ID, electronics, meds, clothes, etc. And just go. You do not need to worry about him. He will manage fine. I'm so sorry for all of this. No one deserves this. You are amazing, and stronger than you know. There are so many organizations out there to help. Please find one, or reach out here. Domestic Violence Support, National Domestic Violence Hotline, thehotline.org. Gather all of your important documents you can and make a plan. Get a new phone, a prepaid, burner one that's hard for him to track. Make sure he is not on any financial accounts, and if he is, get him off. And you are not responsible for his lack of money or anything for that matter. He is and has been using you and controlling you. You can do this. Please do not let yourself become another statistic. You're already getting the practical advice down. I just want to add, please read this book. It saved my life when I was leaving my abusive BF, because it gave me the strength I needed to stay gone. Well done for choosing yourself. You got this. Good luck. Less than 3. This is so easy. Collect your important papers, whatever you can carry. Then leave. Get a new apartment and restart your life. Are you on a mortgage or lease? Credit cards? If so, talk to a lawyer in your jurisdiction for advice on how to protect yourself financially. If you can't move it out, only take what isn't replaceable and buy new stuff. Do not sleep with him. Do not get pregnant. Once out, medication, movement, and therapy. You deserve excellent trauma treatment. You are not to blame. You are not to blame. You are not to blame. If you have folks to help you walk out, have them come over to help you move. Do it today. Go. Controlling husband, 40 male, is freaking me, 33 female, out. Is he manic? For over a month now he's been trying to convince me that people think we're white trash and that they're going to take my kids away from me. He thinks my ex-husband has an agenda to take my oldest, which he doesn't. He knows she is loved and cared for here and he works all week and wouldn't be able to tend to her like I do. Then the house was too messy and everyone was concerned. Like, people don't even come over. Who is everyone? I've been cleaning the house like crazy. It is a mess because we're redoing some of the rooms and shit is moved around. But like, that's not all on me and like, don't people understand it's going to be a bit messy with 2 kids and adults and rearranging shit? Anyway, the house has been pretty clean and now he's saying people are concerned about my child's shyness and that she's odd. WTF. Who are the people? At school she's so smart and ahead of a lot of her class, she has friends. He said people from school are talking to his coworker about it and that pisses me off. Like, first off, why would anyone at school be talking to another parent about my kid? And their concerns about her shyness? WTF. He said his coworker said that they suspect it's a home issue, and that CPS might be coming to our door soon and I just don't understand. I think you need to be worried about his mental health. There's something going on that needs to be looked at. Has he always been this way? This sounds like paranoia and is likely caused by a mental health issue. You said in comments that this is new and conditions like bipolar or schizophrenia could crop up around this time, but 20s is more common. It could also be uppers, coke, meth, etc., especially if he feels manic and is operating on little sleep. Has he been diagnosed with anything? Has anything else changed recently? Can you see all his financials and are they normal? If this is new behavior, please have him see a doctor. This sounds like so many of those stories where it is a tumor in his brain, causing whatever these delusions are. Do not mention what that other person said about that these people noticed abuse and are threatening to call the police. For your safety, do not add to the DELIUSION. If this is not who he is, then you need to document and seek medical assistance immediately. If the behavior escalates, get the fuck out and take your children with you. You know him better than anyone in this thread would. You have to decide if this is normal at all or not. This sounds a lot like gaslighting, or he's having some kind of mental break. Either way, time to get him looked at, or you need to get gone with those kids. It sounds like he is trying to use it as a way to manipulate you. Tell him that people are concerned that he is abusive and you are worried that the police are going to come arrest him if he doesn't stop. I don't know what is going on with your husband, but his behavior is fucked. First of all, who cares what everyone is saying? The opinions of some rando mean nothing. I'm concerned how much your husband is worried about what everyone else thinks. He only cares about image, and in my past experience, the guys that do this are abusive. Do I stay or do I go now? 32F significant other 38M. I had a minor argument with my husband about directions. I gave him attitude because he asked if I was GPSing to our location and I said with an attitude, no. I know how to get there, you don't remember how to. Because he always makes remarks how dumb I am with directions. He swung a backhand stopping just shy of my face with a comment about bashing my cunt face in. He then proceeded to swerve the vehicle and said he so badly wants to slam my side of the car into a telephone pole. I just sat there and said I dare you the whole time while kind of wishing he'd do it and end my life for me. Obviously he did none of them, but this is unhealthy, isn't it? I am genuinely baffled that someone could possibly explain the situation you just explained and not know whether or not it's unhealthy. Do you honestly think that might be normal behavior in a healthy, loving relationship? Really? Yes, this is very unhealthy. Do not stay with someone who threatens to beat or kill you. Please get out now, friend. Listen, babe, it's not great to snap at your partner, sure. But you basically gave him a little hiss and he reacted by aiming a nuke at you. Can you see how out of proportion and violent this is? Eventually he will severely hurt or unalive you. I really hope you can get away. Now, please leave. This is very unhealthy. Why do you even have to ask? I 24F hate myself because my boyfriend 25M is too perfect. Any advice? My boyfriend and I have been dating for 1 year and I just feel really dumb and pathetic in comparison to him. He is smart, kind, never gets angry, and is really sweet and understanding to me and to everyone he meets. And I'm starting to hate it. I feel like a shitty person for admitting this, but it's been weighing on me recently. When I get emotional, he's calm and understanding. When things are going badly, he focuses on finding a way to fix them. When I do something wrong, he sits us down and helps us understand each other and come to a compromise. He never jokes at anyone's expense. He donates to charity monthly and keeps track of how the charity is using the money. I can keep going. All of that, and he never brags and is always humble. He is perfect. And I feel like a piece of shit just by standing in his vicinity and being an average human being. I would be lying if I said I haven't been remembering previous relationships with other people and remembering seeing them be flawed, getting into stupid fights with them and then making up and getting closer, and I honestly kind of miss that. Just feeling like I'm in a relationship with an equal who can fuck up just like me. The only aspect where I feel he's not better than me is socializing. He is extremely awkward around strangers, and so I would be there to help smooth out any social interactions we had together since I'm a people's person. But even that doesn't happen often because he's at home most of the time, works online, has a bunch of online friends, and honestly mostly socializes IRL when I am going somewhere, and I invite him. Another aspect of it is that I feel like a child when he's around. When we watch movies and stuff together, I just start talking about what I think of the characters and the plot, and he used to logically, disassemble what I said, but without malice, he would just counter everything I said. I explained to him that made me feel dumb, and of course he stopped, but now whenever I say something about a movie, I can see in his eyes that he wants to say something but he doesn't and just humors me. And it honestly makes me feel pathetic. And it's not just movies, he likes philosophy, politics, and science stuff, and whenever he talks to me about it, it's like he simplifies stuff because I don't know as much as him, but when he's talking to his friends online he gets really into it. And I know that's not his fault, but like everything else when I'm around him, it makes me feel like shit. I asked a friend of ours what she thought because she dated him before we met, and she basically told me to get over it and that I shouldn't be wishing my boyfriend was a worse person. I honestly don't know what to do with this. These things used to be green flags I would brag to my friends about, but now they make me feel inferior to him and make me hate myself because I feel bad that my boyfriend is too good of a person. Too long did not read. My boyfriend is too good of a person, kind, smart, and understanding. And I am starting to feel inferior in comparison to him. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. 1. You are idealizing him because you love him. Which is kinda a good sign, because it means you still have a lot of affection for him, even after a year. 2. Why not think of it as seeing how good it's possible to develop to be? If you read as much philo, science, etc., you'd have very different perspectives too when it comes to movies. 3. Your self-esteem seems generally low. If you find a way to accept yourself, others seeming perfect will stop being such an issue. He's a human being. If a so-called too perfect guy loves you, then he's not wrong. Everything you described sounds like balance. Yeah, this whole post is really toxic. Craving petty fights and disagreements over open, honest and earnest communication? Yikes, immature. You're clearly very unhappy with yourself, and instead of taking responsibility for it, you're blaming your boyfriend. If you feel inferior, and it sounds like it's all coming from within, then the only person who can fix that is you. Improve yourself, read more, develop yourself as a person and a partner. Become more, instead of comparing yourself to him and throwing a huge Reddit pity party. I just went through this. First off, work on your self-esteem. Second, he isn't perfect. You just choose to see him this way. Once I woke up my perfect man an alcoholic drug addict. I just want to say that often when you have grown up in a dysfunctional environment, you are more likely to push healthy people away because it doesn't align with what your nervous system is used to. Can I ask, how are things sexually between you? Is he a great lover for you too? Because if he is that as well, then it sounds like you have found the absolute most perfect man on earth. As a 39M, even I'm a little jealous reading this.